taking on the fight. Coins and cash making it last. Jordan Budgets, we got this crew.
Hey y'all, it's Jordan from Jordan Budgets. Today we are doing our first cash stuffing of October. I'm so excited to get into these new binders. I have a 26-week savings challenge binder that we're not using as a true 26-week savings. We're not going to do it every other week throughout the year. We're just going to stuff it as much as we can during this fall season. And then these guys, I'm so excited to stuff this 50 envelope savings challenge binder. This also, we're just going to do as much as we can for the next several weeks, maybe the next 6 weeks or so. I'm not sure. We might go a little past Halloween with these guys. They're so cute, so I don't see why we can't use them during the full fall season. But if you have been around on this channel, you know I love to change things up. Speaking of, hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Jordan. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I love doing cash stuffings, cash savings, cash budgeting, all things cash on this channel. If that is interesting to you, please, please, please go ahead and subscribe. We would love to have you as a part of our budget fam. And if you're not new around here, thank you so much for returning. Please hit the like button if you enjoy this video. It does majorly help me out, so I appreciate it. And whether you're new or you're returning, go ahead and let me know down in the comments how you are doing. I used to always film these cash stuffings on Monday, so you guys could let me know how you were at the start of the week. We're trying to get back to that, but I know it's a Tuesday. Let me know though in the comments how you guys are doing. Let's go ahead and count this cash, and then we can chat about what's going on over here. 50, 100, 50, 170, 90, 95, 200, we're gonna move our globe just a little bit, 205, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, $210 to cash stuff this week. This is technically last week's money, so maybe we will come back for another cash stuffing later in this week. This one should go rather quick as well because we just have 2 binders right now. Oftentimes we have like a month ahead binder and all kinds of different savings challenges going on. Right now we just have these 2 binders. Oh, I need a highlighter. I think for both of them we're gonna use, well, I take that back. Do we want to use this one? Or this one? I don't know. Let me see actually which one we're gonna use. Oh, I like that color. And yeah, I feel like the darker brown goes a little bit better. So if you do have these binders, by the way, everything you see in my videos is from my own shop. The sun is already starting to sneak in on us, so I don't know how the colors are showing up. But we are gonna use, it's a Tombow marker 992 is the color. We're gonna use this top one because I think it will go well with this one and with the browns here. So let's go ahead and see what we can stuff into this one. Oh, I do have a chat. I do want to chat with you guys about how I'm keeping up with my grocery budget after we stuff these, because I do recognize this is going to go rather quickly, but that is okay. So let's see. We're going to stuff 25 and 25. Actually, like I said, this is last week's money and cash stuffing. So when I decided where this money was going, that was a full week ago. So we're gonna see if we can make this work out because it's been a little while since I planned it, but it seems like I wanted to do 25 and 25 and then 100. So we're gonna go ahead and mark that and do that and just kind of hope that was my plan. Whew. I usually use highlighters, not just like a marker. I don't know if you guys can tell how messy that came out, but that came out looking a little bit messy. Maybe we'll use the smaller tip side next time. Not that big of a deal. Okay, 25, and then we'll put 25 here. Like I said, this cash is gonna go so quick, but that's okay. So if you didn't catch my last video, I am moving again. So this money in both binders is actually just going towards moving costs, first month's rent, last month's rent, like fees, a U-Haul. I don't know what it's gonna be. I feel good about this move. If you don't know, I've moved a whole lot. But I feel good about this move because it's kind of happening more on my own terms, whereas the last several moves seem to happen kind of abruptly for different reasons. 50 and 100 are gonna go in this 100 spot. So all this is really both of these. I'm just trying to create myself a cushion. So, and ideally keeping a cushion in my bank account because my rent will go up no matter where I move. So we put 100 in that one. I hope you guys can see okay with the lighting. Let me know how it is. I did move film, like where I'm filming. So I'm still trying to figure out, like, is this lighting too bright? Is it distracting? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Okay, and so I think with my 50 envelope, I had a similar plan. Like I want to do some of the smaller numbers and then one of the bigger numbers as well. So let's see if that works out. But I think that was my plan. I'm so excited about this binder. I hate that I launched it so late. It was definitely like my best seller in the fall launch, but I think next year when I do a fall launch and a Halloween launch, I want to do it at the start. Wait, let's see, what month is it? At the start of August, so you guys have more time to purchase and plan and prep. But out of the fall launch, this one was by far my best seller, and it was my only really like Halloween themed one. But again, you can use these little ghosties at any time. I originally, when I set off to create this, wait, let me see if the money's gonna make sense. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is. So we're gonna be able to stuff this whole top line and then the 50. So I'm gonna go ahead and color them while we chat. When I created this binder, I was initially on the hunt to make a camping binder for us to save, like a 52-week camping binder. So that one will still happen. But then I came up with this idea and I was like, oh no, this is perfect. It kind of was a happy accident to create this binder. It was the best seller of the launch though, and it is still in my shop if you still want to get it, but I think next year I just need to be a little bit earlier. I am learning so much with the shop, y'all. I know I've had an Etsy store for like 4 years, but in so many ways, I have been just trying to like survive life and survive moves. And when I first started my shop 4 years ago, I had little bitties in preschool. And so in so many ways, I feel like I just now am having the energy and like the wherewithal to like improve the shop and improve my routines and really figure things out because my boys are now in school. If you don't know, I've been homeschooling my boys for almost 4 years, almost the entirety of the shop. So I pretty much was like, oh, my kids are in preschool and first grade, like just started it. 1 and 2 go in here. And so I was like, oh, I really didn't think this was going to be my full-time thing. You can go back from the start of my channel and kind of hear my whole story, but was excited to start new things. And then we abruptly started homeschooling pretty soon into that. I'm only putting $2 in here. Is this right? Yes, through 4. So I'm putting $2 in here, which gives us 1 short here. We're going to put a 5 in the 4. So it evens out, right? So anyway, like I pretty much started Etsy, started YouTube, started to like get really excited about it. And then I tried to figure out homeschooling for the last 4 years, basically, since I started the shop. And we did homeschool. We homeschooled, but it was very, very difficult. I feel like I wasn't doing anything well. You know when you're spread way too thin? I was spread way too thin trying to homeschool them. I'm really big on social connections. So part of homeschooling was not just like the schooling part, but really the hardest part was constantly driving them to all of these things so that they can see their friends, right? So now that I feel like the weight of their schooling and their social life is off of my shoulders, and I'm still a mom, I still have tons of jobs and time-consuming activities and things I'm doing with them, but my brain power is freed up to like get back to, this is my passion project. You know what I mean? As a mom, we do a lot of things for our kids and we're happy to, but this is all for me. So very excited. Exciting time of my life, y'all. It's just an exciting time for me. So that is the cash stuffing this week. I know that went super quick. And again, I keep saying this week, but really we might come back a little later this week and do another little cash stuffing like this. I say little, it was still over $200, which is amazing. If we are able to stuff these completely, we will have, what, $1,775. It's kind of an odd amount whenever you throw the two together, but we're gonna see how much we can do with that. I'm excited about that. Something else that is exciting, which maybe we'll talk about this more in another video. Let me know if y'all want a full video. I did my taxes. not this year's taxes, not this quarter's taxes. I did 2024's taxes. I have like some rough numbers here. 2024 was apparently a really rough year for me. If you guys want to talk about this more, we could definitely have a video. But I knew I was poor. I know I've been poor and feeling poor, but it didn't occur to me just how rough 2024 was until I just sat and did my taxes. Yes, the deadline, I got an extension, okay? I got an extension for my taxes for 2024 because chaos, you know, like definitely didn't have had, I've had a hard 2024, which rolled into 2025. But I got an extension for my taxes, and then I finally just did my taxes for the extension deadline is in like literally a week. So I did my taxes. They're not finalized. These are not final numbers. So if you're really snooping, like I did a rough estimate, not a rough estimate. I did like my income. I did my expenses for each month. And it feels so good to have like this out there. But basically my tax lady now has these numbers before I segue into like the cuteness of and excitement of like how I organize things. My tax lady has this information and she is figuring out the real numbers, but it was good for me to finally, like, I gathered all my receipts and I did all my things. So that's what I've been doing all weekend. And then yesterday I meant to film this video for you guys, but I kind of had a headache. I think it was like a letdown headache from the stress of literally all weekend for all Saturday and Sunday, the whole weekend. I just sat and did taxes and printed receipts and wrote information. So yesterday I finalized all of the numbers on Monday to get them and got them to my tax lady. And then I had a headache going on migraine the rest of the day. Also, we needed groceries. So anyway, this just feels nice. I did organize. I don't think I have my key here, but I organized in case you're interested. The cash stuffing is over if you were just here for the cash stuffing, but y'all have heard me talk about like, I don't know how to organize my taxes. I tried to get maybe we're not going to do a separate video. Maybe this is the video. I don't know. If you have specific questions or want to chat about anything like Etsy, YouTube, taxes, or income wise, drop a comment down below and let me know what you would like to see. But I guess we're kind of doing the conversation here. I've tried to use an app, a website, whatever, because that feels like the real adulting thing to do for my income and expenses. But it was going to be like between $60 to $120 per month. And then the $60 bookkeeping programs that were going to be like $60 on the lower end, that was like the introductory price. So basically, once I got comfortable with it for a few months, then it was going to up to like $120 a month. And I just don't think I'm there. I think if I had a team, I think if I had way more going on, but I'm just a little Etsy shop and YouTube channel, you know, and my income is pretty low for a full family. So by the time I get deductions and stuff, like, it just doesn't make sense for me to pay that much. But again, maybe once I have payroll, have a team, that kind of thing, maybe then I'll do the what feels like true adulting thing and get the apps or website and, you know, hire a bookkeeper. I don't know. But for now, this absolutely worked. So for example, I'll just show you like an example month, but like in March of 2024, I logged my incomes. My incomes for then were Etsy, YouTube, Amazon, which Amazon is like, you know, $13. If you use my links to shop on Amazon, thank you, like linked below on this video. That's how I get little like Amazon paychecks. And then I had a membership through Stripe. It was through it wasn't through Stripe. I think Stripe is how I was paid for that membership. But basically my membership platform paid me separately from the rest of this. And I had $118 for that. So now y'all know at this point I have my own website, jordanbudgets.com. So for 2025, I will also have like a Shopify income. But I just wrote down, just in case you're interested how I organized it, I wrote down all of my incomes, income before expenses. Then I wrote down all of my expenses and I categorized that. Well, I put the date, the vendor, or like a description, category, payment, that's like what card I used, which can be very helpful when trying to find the receipt and stuff, and then the amount. So I did highlight it, like software is yellow, inventory was this green, office supplies or purchases are blue, and then shipping is orange. Oh my gosh, colors apparently are difficult for me. So I just did that for every single month. And then at the end of it, I did like a year at a glance, which has the month, gross sales, the expenses, and then like how much I netted at the end of it. And y'all, poor. I was poor. I don't know exactly what the I don't know exactly what it's going to end up being because, again, I did my part. I sent it off to my lady who's helping with taxes, and we'll see how it all shakes out. But 2024 was definitely, income-wise, the most rough year I've had since starting Etsy and YouTube. So that would have been year 3, which I think a lot of businesses quit in year 3, right? So I feel like, give, you know, hand of applause for me, pat on the back, whatever. Like, I survived it and kept going. But also, we're going to talk about my groceries in just a second, but it's like completely different topic. But 2024, I moved twice. I moved from coastal Mississippi up to Des Moines, Iowa. We got to Des Moines, Iowa in a duplex and found that wasn't going to work. And then we moved again. So I moved twice in 2024. And as you might imagine, working for myself, single mom, homeschooling, I didn't work near as much during that time because I'm also moving myself. I made, you know, 100 trips back and forth to move my stuff both times, you know? So like rough year, not really because of work, more because of me, personal life and stuff, but I'm really hopeful for 2025. It honestly feels so nice it feels validating because I was like 2024 felt so terrible. And it's like looking back, it was a rough year. And income wise, apparently, it was also a very bad year. So anyway, that was a whole rant. I honestly wasn't even trying to get to that. I was trying to get to this. If you're still with me, leave me a heart emoji in the comments. Let me know you're making it to the end of the video. But I wanted to share this really quick. This is something I just started, but I want to get better at tracking my groceries. So I made this little spread just a couple days ago and I wanted to share with y'all. I'm keeping up with all of my receipts now. So Aldi receipt, and then I printed a Walmart receipt. It's flipped just for, you know, privacy or card information or whatever might be there. But I'm tracking my groceries. And then I gave myself this teeny tiny little spot because we are a fast food family. I really have no shame in it, but I do want to rein in the spending a little bit, especially these last few months of the year, October, November, December. I was like, whoa, hold on. Do we have a few months or is it just a couple? Yeah, we have a few months left at the end of this year. And as I'm saving for a move, we of course have Christmas coming up, with which, if you didn't see my unstuffing, we actually have the money for Christmas this year because I've been saving it with my cash, right? But especially with moving coming up, I would like to get a better handle, a better grip on our fast food spending. So I don't have a fast food category down here. I have a food experiences category down here. And so for this month in particular, we will see, but for this month in particular, I gave myself this tiny little space. So we don't have much room to go on many trips, but instead of just going to get McDonald's because we're all starving and I didn't plan ahead, I want us to have food experiences. So I need to just bring a snack in the car if that's the case. But I don't want to completely shut down fast food because sometimes we will make a trip to go get donuts or like it feels more special. Like we're intentionally doing it, right? So October 2nd, we did go make a trip to get McDonald's ice cream. It was $5.54. Now that was just the boys getting ice cream because I'm not super crazy about it. And I had a sweet tea in my hands that I made at home. So I didn't need anything. But we spent $5.54 so far during this first week of October on fast food, which is amazing for us. And then for groceries, like I said, I'm keeping the receipts here. And what I'm going to keep in this binder is the date that we went, kind of what it was. So like October 1st, we did a mini restock. That was a grocery pickup from Walmart. And then October 2nd, we did a weekly restock from Aldi, which was a bit more. And then I'm also going to track my most and least expensive foods. Most and least. Least expensive, I think, could just be fun to know, like, what is super cheap. So like if I'm trying to have a really low budget week, I'm thinking this like least category might give me ideas like, oh, bananas, I spent, you know, which I didn't write it down, but for bananas, you know, they're only like 60 cents or whatever. And then frozen corn from Aldi was 97 cents for a bag. So I'm just thinking that might help with cheap meal prep. And kind of knowing what was a good price in hindsight, because I don't always pay attention in the store. And then most expensive, so on this little mini restock, our most expensive was chocolate chip muffins, which is 4 muffins for almost $5. So that tells me I did really good not getting expensive stuff on this mini restock if our most expensive thing was $5. And then our weekly restock from Aldi, our most expensive was salmon. I spent $20 on a big piece of salmon, which was very much worth it. But I think this most category is going to keep me in check when it comes to, like, do we really need that game or whatever we didn't budget for that's not even a food item? Or maybe month to month I consistently see the same thing as our most expensive item, and so I need to start shopping for that on a sale. I don't really know how these numbers are going to impact me because I'm new to doing this and tracking this way, but my thought is we will have a spread like this for every single month, and it would be really nice to look back on and help me with prepping and stuff. So also let me know if you have any questions with this or would like to see anything else with this again, but I just thought I would mention it because I think it's gonna be fun to track and keep my groceries and my food experiences in budget. This is kind of accidentally becoming a little budget notebook for me, and I'm not mad about it. I'm super excited. So that is it for today's cash stuffing, for today's little rant. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, you with the dream so bright. We're saving together, taking on the fight. Coins and cash, making it last.